Hi guys. Okay, so I've put my center camera up here so that you can actually see what I'm doing from the top and the side. So basically what we're going to do now is just take the colors that I've chosen, and we're going to do some different techniques. So firstly, we've done the white base coat. So what I'm going to do now is the Elvis mix and the coral stone, we're going to try and blend in to see how those colors look. We're first going to go for a smooth blending, and then we'll see how that looks, and then we will go and look into a dry and wet ragging for a more sort of rough effect. So my paint brushes, okay. So we're going to use the brown, the Elvis mix first. I hope you guys can see me okay. I'm trying to get you a little bit, as much in the picture as I can. But I will show you closely, a bit closer just now, on what I'm actually doing. So take your chalk paintbrush, make sure that it's dry. We're going to dip it into the paint. And all we're going to do is just some smooth strokes across, first of all, with the brown. You really just want to get all that paint in there to start off with. Okay. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You can do different color strokes. You can do across, you can go up and down, just whichever you prefer. So basically that's what we've done. We've just done a smooth brown layer of paint there. Okay. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some of the blue. So basically when you are doing your blending, you need to make sure that your paints are basically still wet, so that you can blend the colors in nicely. So let's take some of this blue, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same stripes. So basically I'm just looking for the right colors to do the cabinets with before I physically do the final pieces. So here I'm just going to take my brown again, and you can always add color as you go along to see where you want to add more or take away. There, and I'm just going to take my blue again, just go over that. Okay, so normally I would use like two colors and a white to lighten the colors a little bit better, but I'm kind of liking this color right now. This actually looks very nice. So I'm thinking what we should do is let's apply the same to the sides, going down, and then what we can do on our second coat, we can look at doing the different effects. So I'm just going to go across. I really want to get into those grooves there. So guys, again, like this channel, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. I'm just thinking and doing as I go along, to see which colors are going to actually work on this piece. And then obviously we'll do the different effects on the borders. Okay, take my glue. I just want to move this side up a little bit. Do a working on for this border. Okay, and then we just apply the blue. Just do exactly the same effect that we did earlier. it, we're just going to go around the board because I really want to create a different effect. I really quite like this blue with the brown. Seems to be blending in rather nicely here, where you've got a lot of cracks and you know, natural detail on the wood. It really does give it a nice finish and a nice effect. So always try to make sure that your paint is still pretty wet on the colors, just to make sure that they blend in. Okay, I'm going to take my brown again and just go over. Okay, we're going to need this to dry a little bit. If you ever find that your paint isn't staying too dry, I mean too wet, I always have a spray bottle on hand, so you guys can always use this. And all you do is just give your brush just a little spray. Can you see me, guys? Okay, just a little spray. And then you can just go back and touch up if need be to get that blending in properly. Wet paint always helps to just blend the colors in a little bit more. So on the second coat, you can always come back and see where you want to add more color, where you want to leave the color. It's entirely up to you. You know, it's just play around with it, see what you want to do. I think we picked up a bit of white in there from the previous. Didn't dry, but that's okay. So yeah, we're going to leave it like this. Always remember to make sure that your coats of paint are always completely dry before you do your next one. So we're going to wait for this to dry again for 20 minutes. And then we'll come back and play around some more. So on the next round, we're going to do a smooth blend technique, and we're going to do like a more rustic dry and wet ragging on the other, just to see how it comes out. We might add a bit more color on the other one. Okay, so we've allowed the paint to dry now. You could probably see from the top, it's just given such a nice effect with the green that's gone into the blue. Let me give you a closer look here. Not sure if you'll be able to see it. But yeah, you can see here the green has kind of gone into the brown, which has given it a very nice effect. You'll see here on the sides a little bit of the white has come through, but I think that was probably maybe because the paint hadn't entirely dried properly. But that's fine, because we can just always touch it up now on the second or final coat. But yeah, see, you'll be able to see here just on the sides. I love this effect over here where the green has come into the brown. I don't know if you guys can see too clearly. So what I noticed with this is the brown is quite overpowering. So what I'm going to do this time round is actually, instead of doing the brown and then the green, I'm going to do a green, brown, and a green. You can see how the green is pulled into the brown. I think that's a better look. Okay. So the brown was a bit overpowering, so We may need to see if we need to add some white, just to make it more of a pale, subtle color, but we'll have a look at that as we go along. So let's try the reverse now. Instead of doing the brown and then the green, I'm going to do green, brown, and green, and try and smooth it in that way, just to see that if it doesn't, so it's not so overpowering on the brown. So let's put our green in. Guys, I'm not sure how this is going to work out, because like I said to you, I honestly just play around with color because I'm really not sure what I'm doing. I watch videos and I do stuff and it doesn't come out anything like what's on the video. So I just play around, and basically I'm just finding my way around how everything works. So now I'm just putting on the brown, trying to blend that in with the green. It seems to look like it's going to work out better. It's showing more of the brown, the green. So I'm going to put some more brown in here. Just try and blend it out a little bit. I think I'm liking this a bit better than the way it was. It's just giving it a bit more of a subtle, instead of the overpowering of the brown being all the way on the outside. Just taking a little bit more green. So I'm going to do this step by step, because obviously this one here would now be the smoother technique of the blending. And then I want to do, on the other frame sides, I want to do more of a dry and wet ragging effect. It just seems to have come out a little bit more, so there's not so much brown smothering the green. It looks more balanced and a little bit lighter. So guys, when you're painting, don't be scared to use your finger or a cloth or anything like that. I'm going to show you, obviously when you're doing it with brushes, you know, it's a different effect if you're blending with brushes. But I'm going to show you in a minute how you can use your finger or obviously your dry and wet rag to help blend it in. I'm just putting a little more color in here. I just want to see how it's going to go, because I'm really liking this. Just has toned down the brown a little bit and the green. I really like it. So there we go. You can actually see the difference, how much the brown here and on the other sides is smothering the green, whereas here you can actually see that brown softness in the middle that's come in, and it's actually made the green softer. These always look different once the colors have dried. So what I want to do on the other sides is I want to do